Hey, I just finished up a little experiment, if you want to call it that. Now, everybody's going to be a little bit different, and I'm using these numbers based off what I did. I used my Apple Watch and Whoop, compared the two. So the first one was a mile walk. It took me, sorry, I'm looking at my notepad over here. It took me about 19 minutes to walk the mile, just a leisurely walk, nothing crazy. So according to my Whoop band, which I trust more, is 57 calories. According to my Apple Watch, 116 calories. So like a 55 calorie difference right there, 59 calories really. And then I ran that same mile a few minutes later, got my rested a little bit, took some water in, ran that mile slow, nothing crazy. It's actually 1.1 miles, but no big difference. Did that in just around 11 minutes. I'm about a 10-minute mile guy. I'm happy at that pace, so that's where I ended up, about 10-minute mile. 135 calories according to Whoop, and 151 according to my Apple Watch. And then I did a 10-minute EMOM. If you don't know what that is, it's every minute on the minute you do a set amount of exercise. So I did 10 squats every minute, did them to a bench, started at 95 pounds, went up every other round to 195 pounds. So not real heavy for me, just enough to know that I was doing it. Almost like a really good warm-up set. Did them off the bench, so that'd be top half of the squat, so I'd be consistent on depth for this, and wanted to work a little more explosiveness, so I did them pretty quick tempo. According to my watch, 79 calories. To my band, 55 calories. Again, I'm going to trust the Whoop on this, guys, and that goes to show us that when we rely on these are just tools. They're not perfect. But if I did those three things and used my Apple Watch numbers instead of my Whoop band, let's see where I'd end up at. Let's see. So I'm just going to round down here, guys. So 55 calories more on the walk, roughly 15 calories on the run, and then about 25 calories on the lifting, difference between the two. So I mean, we're looking at 100 calories per, give or take, 100 calories right there difference between these two. How far off could that get you in a week or a month of tracking with this? So don't rely too heavy on tools. They're great as a reference point, but don't use them as gospel. Like, you're going to sabotage yourself if you're doing that. And a lot of people tend to look at that and say, oh man, I just burnt 200 calories or whatever, and treat themselves with that 200 calories. Well, if it's 100 calories off and you treat yourself with 300 calories according to your Apple Watch, you've just eaten in a calorie. You just went out of your calorie deficit. So be real careful with that. So let's use the run, for example. Let's say I did burn 150 calories according to my Apple Watch, which is a lot. I'm using these just because I had them around. Great value Cheez-Its or cheddar cheese crackers. I've got my scale here, a little hard to see, so I'm going to pan down here. Obviously the wrong direction at first. I've got it on my scale. Again, you can't really see it. Sorry guys, it's out of frame. But I'm going to tear it off there, and then I'm going to measure out 30 grams of these. That'll give us roughly 150 calories. Now, food labels are allowed to be wrong too, guys. They're probably usually 15% off, and that's the legal limit for them. So they can get away with being 15% off. So let's say I just did basically, 40 minutes of exercise, right? Forget what I just said. Let's go to that 1 mile run. 11 minutes for that 1.1 mile run. Again, just a good pace, nothing hard for me. That's this right here. That's it. Let's see what that looks like in my hand. A little more than a handful, right? A handful and a half, maybe. That's 3 bites for me. I mean, I could put all those in my mouth in 3 bites. Maybe take me a minute and a half, 2 minutes to eat those. Is that worth it? I don't think so. Do I do it? Yeah. I'm not perfect. I like my snacks. I'm not saying not to enjoy stuff, guys, but just be mindful of what you're doing. Another thing to take from this, in my opinion, in my experience, I shouldn't even say opinion, experience as a coach and going through, body transformation journeys myself. 1 mile run to burn 135 to 150 calories is not worth it to me. Not for the abuse it puts on your joints. And as soon as that runs over and you catch your breath, you're done burning calories, right? It's over. But those 100 squats I did, even at that amount of weight, has given me better mechanics, has given me some lean muscle mass gain if you're doing it consistently over time, which increases your basal metabolic rate, which is the rate at which you burn calories throughout the day to keep your body going. So a huge benefit to weight training compared to cardio in my experience. There's science behind this. Everybody wants to get excited about cardio because they get their heart rate up, they get sweating, they get out of breath. Those things don't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of getting better, guys. Don't let marketing and fads trick you. Don't let your mind trick you. Our mind gets us more than anything else does, because we get tired running. We think we've done this great thing, and all you've really done is put stress on your joints, burn a few calories, but what does that do in the long run? Those 10 squats for 10 minutes, getting 100 squats in, is way more beneficial, and took me less time. Took me a minute less to do those squats than it did to run a mile. So make the most of your training, guys. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, just shoot me a DM or put something in the comments if you want to. Hope you have a great day.
So this is just my last set of squats here, so you have an idea of what I did. You can do air squats, jumping squats. You can do them with dumbbells, sandbags, slam balls, kettlebells, whatever you've got. This is just an option that I have and like to do. Like I said, hitting the bench, probably not even quite a half depth squat for me, but want to work that top half explosiveness. That's it, guys. It's really that simple. Again, do it at home.